Hey everyone, it's Amanda, and today we are making salmon. Okay, I am very excited to continue to share with you some fish recipes to help you kind of expand your palate. And today we're doing salmon, and that salmon is actually important because part of the reason why I'm sharing this is because ButcherBox is having like this really big sale where you get 2 pounds of salmon for free for the entire first 12 months of your subscription if you sign up with them today. So, well, actually it's for the next few days. It's until March 27th. It's a little tiny sale because it's a big sale, so they're limiting it. But I wanted you to know about it because like salmon, it can be pricey. It really can be, especially when you get quality like what you get at ButcherBox. And it's hard to find good salmon, and who wants to waste their gas nowadays? So just have it delivered to your house. I will have an affiliate link down in the description box that you can check out if you're interested. But anyway, a lot of people I think don't know how to cook salmon. They don't know very many options. I actually already have a really great simple salmon recipe that I'll link up here if you haven't seen it and you want to check that out. But today's salmon recipe is like a fancy one. But it's not that fancy. It's not like you can't do it. It's really, but it's gonna feel fancy, right? It's gonna feel extra fancy for you to do this one in your home. It's kind of an Asian inspired one, and it's a sweet and spicy garlic salmon. You're gonna love it. But anyway, I'm gonna show you how to make it. I've got everything set up over here. I'll tell you about the ingredients here in a second, but I hope that you will try it because salmon is so good for you, you guys. Omega-3s, you know what I'm saying? So let's go look at the ingredients and we'll get started. By the way, you can have this dish ready in like 15 minutes. It's really simple. Let's go do it. Okay, so let's talk about these ingredients. I mean, I've got them all laid out here. First of all, the salmon. I got my salmon sitting here too. And I actually have the whole salmon. We're gonna slice it down to fit in our pan. But if you get the strips of salmon, that's even easier to work with. This is just what I had. So back here we have soy sauce and some chili garlic sauce. You can use sriracha if you prefer. Kosher salt, black pepper, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper. This is garlic powder, onion powder, some Italian seasoning, honey, oil. We got some butter, cloves of garlic, lemon juice. We're gonna have some water in here as well. And that's all that you need. I know it seems like a lot of ingredients, but you guys would agree these are like simple ingredients you probably already have in your house. So no need to go out and do a special shopping trip. It's just gathering them all together. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this salmon, I'm gonna take it out of the package. We're gonna pat it dry with a paper towel. And then we're gonna mix together a dry seasoning mix. And we're gonna do a wet mix that's gonna go in here. You'll see what I'm talking about here in 1 second. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and cut our salmon out of the package. And I'm gonna get some paper towels and we're gonna dry it off. You need it pretty dry to get your rub on there and make sure it sticks really well. So just pat it until it's done. We're gonna start with kosher salt. That's a ½ teaspoon. By the way, I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon measure. So you might see me using it more than once, but it's just a ½ teaspoon black pepper. We're using a little onion powder, ½ teaspoon of that. You also want to use your, probably a full teaspoon of the Italian seasoning, that cayenne pepper though, just a 1/4 teaspoon of that. You don't want more than that. And stir it all up. And then we have our dry rub mix. So we're gonna start on our wet mix. And that begins with garlic. Now I have 3 large pieces of garlic here. If you have smaller pieces, maybe use like 5 or 6. You can also use a garlic press if you prefer. I prefer to do it by hand. That's just what I like to do. So I'm just dicing it up really finely here, and that's the key. You want to make sure it's really fine, because when you're done, this is going to go in the bottom of that measuring cup that's for those wet ingredients. And there we go. So then we're going to add our honey. You want a ½ cup of honey. That's the biggest ingredient. Then we have our sriracha sauce, and that's 1 tablespoon. And then 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And as soon as you're done with that, 3 tablespoons of water. And I even have a little lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of that, just to make sure that it's got a little kick in it. We're gonna stir that up, and that's our wet sauce. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take our dry mix, and we're gonna sprinkle it over our salmon. We're going to use every bit of it. So ain't none of it going to waste. We want some flavorful salmon here, y'all. All right, then we're just going to pat it on in. Like, just make sure the salmon knows. There it is. All that flavor is in there. Now, we're going to start our pan. Now, because we're going to cook our salmon in my cast iron skillet, we're actually going to cut it down because it's a little too big. All right, it's time to get this pan ready. So we're going to put a little oil in here. A couple tablespoons. And I'm also going to toss in a couple tablespoons of butter. By the way, if you want the full recipe, go down in the description box and you will see all of the instructions and everything there. All right, so once we get that wet sauce in the pan, after that butter is melted, I'm gonna stir it up and let it cook till it boils about 30 seconds to a minute, just to see it start. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our salmon fillets in there and make sure you cover them with the sauce. You can see it start to bubble. And we are going to just, you know, let it bubble and baste it because you don't want it to get dry out. And you're gonna let it cook for about 3 minutes on the stove, and make sure you're basting it continually so it stays nice and moist. And then as soon as your 3 minutes is up, we're gonna move it into our oven. Once you get it in that oven, that's why we're using that cast iron pan, because it can go from the pan straight to the oven, and that's where you get all of the great flavor. So, and while it's in the oven, by the way, make sure you are continuing to baste it because you want to make sure that it's nice and flavorful. While I have it in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and make myself some sauteed kale, and I am going to just fry a little garlic in the pan, a little minced garlic, and throw my kale in there. I usually move it around and let it get flavored in the oil for a minute. And then after I do that, I'll add a little water and put the lid on it so it'll steam just for a couple of minutes. Gotta check on that salmon. Not quite done yet. You want to make sure it flakes before you pull it out. And once that kale is done, we're gonna move that out of the pan. And we're gonna put a little more oil and garlic in there, and we're gonna start our fried rice. And I'm gonna use day-old rice. It's been sitting in my fridge. It's big, clumpy, and make a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. I'm gonna press that out, let that start to fry up a little bit, and pull our salmon out, and now it's perfectly done. But that's actually really great timing, because as this rice fries, we're gonna add our flavors. So first thing we're gonna add is a little soy sauce, and then we're gonna add a little bit of that basting sauce from the salmon just to give it that little extra oomph. I'm gonna fry up our egg. This is really simple fried rice. I'm not putting any other vegetables in it. I have the kale, so just a basic fried rice. And we're gonna put it all together on one beautiful plate, and this comes together so quickly. And look, there we have our sauteed garlic kale, fried rice, and our sweet and spicy garlic salmon. It is delicious, you guys. You won't even believe it. Really simple, like honestly, anybody can do this. It's so easy. Mix a little dry stuff, mix a little wet stuff, toss it in the pan. Let it cook in the oven for a few minutes, done. Like literally, this is the easiest. And even frying up fried rice, you can use leftovers. And this looks like a restaurant, y'all. A restaurant. I did all of this under a half hour, super easy. Tell me that is not delicious. Okay, let me taste it, because I know y'all are waiting on me, and frankly, I just want to. And look, I mean, I wish I was on camera and you could have seen. Look, I just touch it with my fork and it just flakes. I mean, it is just perfectly done. Perfectly done. Give me a little piece. Give me a little rice. Don't forget that kale. Don't forget your greens. It just has that perfect Sweetness when you eat it. I know I'm eating, I'm talking. It has that perfect sweetness when you eat it, but that hint of heat in the back that makes it amazing. And frankly, honestly, I could even eat this just a smidge bit hotter, but I wouldn't go any hotter if you don't like spice. If you're questionable about spice, don't go any hotter. Start there at the baseline. Try it if you like spicy things, and then increase. Just try it first. But delicious as is. I mean, that is the perfect medium amount that you would find, like I said, at a restaurant. Restaurant quality food at home. Who wants to spend their gas? Nobody. So here you go. Y'all gotta try this. I'm telling you, if you aren't eating fish, you're missing something. You're missing something. Try this salmon recipe. You can try my other salmon recipe. I just shared whitefish chowder. I have more fish recipes coming, so just keep your eye out. You need fish in your life. Add it. And by the way, again, check out ButcherBox. Get that free fish. You guys, 24 pounds of free salmon. Go check out the price of this, a salmon like this at your local grocery store. But don't waste your gas. Look online. But I'm telling you, 24 pounds of it for free. This is why I'm sharing this deal, because it's a great one and you want to take advantage of it while you can. So anyway, all right, well that's it. You guys, I'm gonna eat this. It's amazing. I'm so excited to share with you. I love fish, I'm not even kidding you. Okay, I'm gonna eat this. You guys have a good day. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.